Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Baldur's Gate 3. So in today's video, I'm back at camp.
Very well.
Because Volo said he wanted to talk to me back here, and so does Gale by the look of it, interestingly. So let's talk to Volo first, shall we? Let's talk to Gale first.
So all it took to get MISTRA's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it.
What do you think she wants?
Well, I doubt it's an apology for asking me to die on her behalf. Whatever it is. If it's important enough to send Elminster, we can be damn sure she's serious. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards.
Okay. I'm interested to see what she has to say. Not yet, but soon.
Very well. But it does not serve us to tarry when a summons from the heavens is waiting.
I would argue it does serve us to do so, but... Anyway. Hey, Volo. You're alive, thanks to me.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me?
You were speaking about the Absolute, seemingly. Did you speak out against the cult of the Absolute? They have eyes everywhere.
It is not the eyes that I fear, it is the intelligence behind them. The Absolute is merely the outward form of something far more insidious. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent.
It did.
Orin is his chosen.
My god, he is very well informed.
Before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
I already defeated the Slayer.
You triumphed over Baal's chosen? Marvelous! Such a historic deed must be documented in every gory detail. You and I shall pen the book of your experiences together. But I suppose you'll have to deal with the Illithids first. Please do tell me when you've thwarted every apocalypse that's currently in motion.
Fair enough, Volo, fair enough.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Fair enough. He's marked as a vendor.
Whatever happens next.
Then again, so is Withers, I guess, technically. Alright, let's just make sure that no one else wants anything to say to me. Minthara has something to say to me. That is intriguing. Hello, my dear.
As you approach Minthara, you feel her mind reaching out to yours, tentative and curious. Then it retreats, soft as a whisper.
Sorry. Old habits.
What were you hoping to find?
A feeling. When we first met, before moonrise, I intruded on your thoughts without hesitation and took what I needed from your memories. I would not do that again, unless I had reason to think you were hiding something from me. And I do not. I did not think we would ever share anything more than an uneasy alliance, born of our mutual enmity for the Absolute. I was wrong. A deeper bond has grown between us. I trust you. But I would like to touch your thoughts again, now that my mind is my own. May I?
Go for it. Sure, only if I can see in your thoughts as well.
Of course. I do not hide anything from you. Until my time in the cult of the Absolute, I had spent little time on the surface, except to raid and pillage. I did not expect to find any outside the Underdark who saw the world as I do, and wanted from the world what I want. I did not expect you.
Interesting. I'm flattered.
You should be. On those rare occasions when people have surprised me in the past, I received new scars to remember them by. You are different. A pleasant surprise. One of the first in my long life. Before the Absolute, I lived a life of certainties. I knew that I was destined for greatness because I was born to it. I also knew that my inherited privilege came with a cost. That the bonds of fellowship and family could be broken by envy and ambition. I could not enjoy the taste of food for fear of poisoning, and I could not enjoy the company of lovers and friends because I feared they hid knives behind their smiles. In spite of the danger, I was happy. I knew myself, and I understood the world around me. Now, nothing is certain.
Interesting.
Without Lolth, without the Absolute, without my home, I do not know myself. But you do, I think. Show me myself through your eyes. Let me see what I am to you.
Sure.
She joins her thoughts with yours, and you are as one. You share in her strength of mind and formidable will, but also the doubts that eat at her conviction. Those doubts cluster in swarms, and the thickest is around her sense of self. She pushes past, revealing the image of her you hold in your mind. What does she see?
This is really cool. A friend, yeah, honestly.
Her mind cools. Acceptance is colored by disappointment.
Interesting.
We need to trust one another if we are to survive. But I want more from you than that. I want all of you.
Yeah, that's the truth. I have somebody else already.
Now you can have me instead.
No, I don't want to leave.
As you wish. It is a rare occasion when I do not get what I want. But you have shown your worth in many ways. I will be satisfied to have you as an ally.
That's interesting.
Slaying as great an enemy of my people as Minsk would normally be a great victory. But he was just another puppet of the cult.
I tend to agree.
There was no honor in killing him while he did not know himself.
I agree. I felt bad about it.
A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind?
I might cut this out because these might be the same, but I'm going to go through all of these again just in case they're different. Okay, all the things she said were pretty much the same. So now, I think what we're going to do is plug in my mouse because it just jumped. Okay, there we go. I think we're somewhat back to where we were. I think what we're going to do is grab Gale.
You wish to consult me?
I do indeed. Wait here in camp for
A
now.
mistake. I am your most valuable asset. When you realize...
Honestly, you probably are my most valuable asset, if I'm being honest. Okay, so the reason we have Gale with us is because retrieve the stolen gold from the Zent leader right here. But let's first go meet MISTRA, shall we? Oh, that's just sending me to the sewers. Okay. That's fine.
Time to press ahead.
The Stormshore Tarnbuckle.
Located in the Stormshore Tabernacle, if my memory serves.
Tabernacle, rather.
Do whatever you need to. But I shan't be paying my respects to any of the gods on show.
You never felt the call of the divine, Starring?
Oh, I tried them all. None of them answered.
Interesting.
Mistra's likeness. It's been some time since I stood before her in a place like this.
I should pay my respects to Lady Shah as well.
Is Shah in here? I don't think Shah's in here. Alright. MISTRA.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. MISTRA, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic, as though the weave itself were coursing beneath her stony skin.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to MISTRA, wherever she may be.
Mistra is a lesser goddess compared to Lady Shah. But if you have a chance to speak to her, you should seize it.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with MISTRA again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee.
You're ready.
Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover.
Indeed.
I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it.
Of all the things to be nervous about, an audience with a goddess seems reasonable.
You're kind to say so, but this is hardly my first time in MISTRA's presence. It's more the matter of what I'm going to say to her. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go.
You're not taking me with you?
The summoning channel MISTRA has provided is for me alone. No one else is permitted to enter it, no matter how talented a user of the weave they are.
Fair enough. Don't give anything away, just find out what she has to say.
You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best
probably
to keep
am.
a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let MISTRA show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Sure. Oh, we're playing as Gale? Seems we're playing as Gale, that's interesting.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite Weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite Weave.
You can no more control the Karsite Weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
She's very beautiful, which fits, right? Also, if I weren't so selfish, I would believe her, probably. Everything she said made sense.
The Karsite Weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new, divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me.
What are the chances that MISTRA smite you before you get the chance?
Slim to none, I hope. MISTRA has no right to prevent another ascending to the Pantheon. Only AO can decide that. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half-forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you?
I mean, I'll be honest, you are the most moral person in our entire group. Shadowheart's catching up to you a bit, but honestly, it's you. Shadowheart was getting there, and then I pulled her back down to my level. We're not a group of good people. I just want to point that out, Gale. Morals be damned, it's an incredible opportunity, you must take it.
Gods, it's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.
I like the idea of having a god in my back pocket. I mean, I like the idea better of me being that god, but as far as I know, there is no way to get that goddamn orb out of him, is the thing. So, you know. 6-1, half dozen the other. Alright, let's go back to camp. We're going to drop Gale and pick up Minthara again. Alright, we're back. So, her bar looks crazy now, but I think it's kind of more ordered than it was. These are all attack spells. These are all utility spells in order, and then we have a Channel Vindies down here. And then we have a Tabble Powers on the bottom. Still crazy, and these here are all spells that she gets from items, so they're a bit harder. These here are, again, feats that she has from her class, but I already had them over on the left, so they can stay there for now. It is crazy how much stuff she gets as a paladin. I think also you've got to take into account the fact that she's using all of these Tadpole powers, which comes into effect. That's like 9 slots that I could have otherwise. But
What to do?
I think we're good. So, we have now done Gale's quest. We have Astarion and Shadowheart with us. I kind of want to do both of their quests. I also kind of want to go into the sewer and see if we can go to the Zent agent.
Hands on everything.
A broken steel watcher. A tag wired to it reads, "Unit defective. Return to the Steel Watch Foundry at the West Docks."
Interesting. Disable the Steel Watch. We learn the Steel Watches are being assembled at the Steel Watch Foundry down by the lower dock side. I might go in there and investigate. Because if I can kill them before I get to Gortash, win. Murder target. So this should be the last murder target, apparently.
Crime scene not open to public by order of the Flaming Fist.
I mean, I'll give it an F5 before I do this, but...
Next time's the charm.
Well, Frank Petrie is dead.
Something over there.
Messy splatters of deep red-brown adorn the scrap of parchment. Those wishing to face the Dreadlord's tribunal and enter the Temple of Baal must slay the targets of the list and frame the corpses and murder of the cult of the Absolute. Bring a victim's hand as proof to the killing. Walk in blood aspirant. And it is the same list. I mean, I guess I'll take the Bloodstone Parchment, why not? A hatch key. The Guild, Hidden Rules of Baldur's Gate. The book's central argument is encapsulated in the chapter devoted to Rizla Rael, Guild Kinpin of the Little Kalimshan? In another time, in another place, Rizla Rael would be celebrated as a revolutionary. In Baldur's Gate, in her own lifetime, she's known as a crime lord. A kingpin of the Guild, ruling over the city within a city, this is the district of Little Kalimshan. Rilsa's story began when she was orphaned at a young age. Her father was hanged by the Flaming Fist for sheltering her fugitive brother. Soon after, her mother was denounced by the jealous wife of a patriarch and imprisoned in the sea tower, where she perished. Alone in this world, she had learned two valuable lessons. When the law is corrupt, it is a necessity for those without the support of its enforcers to act outside it, and when the law is brutal, it is an ethical duty to act against it. Operating from within the Calum Jewel Emporium, Rilsa knows the value of everything and everyone that moves through Baldur's Gate. She controls a wide target of agents who observe and track the exchange of goods and information as closely as any merchant or politician. But second-hand knowledge is cheap. Rilsa's real trick is to draw those with secrets to share directly into her orbit. At her Garden of Whispers, information can be shared within the guild anonymously. Anyone with a grudge to bear or a compatriot to bring low, that is to say anyone of importance, can ensure that the whole city knows their grievance. It is said that if somebody speaks to your weak spot in the Garden of Dawn, you can expect to find a knife buried in that exact spot before the night falls. Interesting. The Archduke's Leadership Decorum. An Archduke's Leadership Decorum, a pamphlet by the Gortash of Archduke Volume Campaign. As Archduke, Lord Gortash's top priority will be decorum, to ensure that administration and law enforcement are at all times treated with respect by their positions and duties. No policy can be more important. Of course, that encumbered me hilariously. Let me order these a bit. I have so many daggers.
What do we have here?
Alright, we're back. So this is a scrap of paper that was on the body. Scrap of bloody paper is scrawled in an erratic, excitable hand. You've been picked where you shouldn't. Pear tree. Placing the lordling's fire spitters throughout my city. Disgusting. They leave no blood, there's no art to it at all, just burnt ash and corpse cinder. I walk through this basement. Here is a pen, it's rather large. Roomy. I never find all the bits of you if it's spread them out here properly.
Right.
Interesting.
Down the stairs and... Oh, was it upstairs?
Okay, so he was a aspirant who was murdered by Oren, seemingly. Which is interesting to know, but I don't really care. I guess let's just loot this off him. Can't get there. Oh, it's just a lie in it. I got a key to his hatch, but I don't see a hatch. Interesting. There was indeed a hatch.
Let's have a look. That corpse is huge. And is that a burning heart?
Found his arm.
A clown's arm. It's thrown its last custard pie by the look of it.
Indeed. The effigy of Yagashura, who burned his mortality. What use his heart? He thought himself a titan, but died whispering for his mother. Below is an exaggerated signature written in blood or in the red. Well, that's interesting. Infernal contracts and bargains. This book presents a guide on which devils to bargain with for what. One must choose which devil they deal with using utmost vigilance. Remember, devils are not only friends, they're bastards. I once knew a man who asked for ultimate protection against his enemies from a devil of Dispater. He was transported into an impregnable iron fortress deep underground, one without doors. So, pick your choice with caution, friends. For matters of money, creatures of Minoris can best solve your woes. For matters of pleasure or pain, face the fiery folk of Phlegethlos. This tome continues in much the same manner. Interesting, I'll take it. Soul coins, a treatise, I believe I already read this. I did indeed, I read this book back in Act 1. An offer. Dear Mr. Peartree, lovely corners you've winnowed for yourself, man of your means. I like your house, Frank Peartree. Yet as the pauper said to the priest when he espied the cathedral's interior, it would be improved, sir. That is why I'm writing to you about. You see, I have an offer for you, Frank. I have in my possession a tremendous quantity of infernal iron. Its acquisition is immaterial. What matters is this: I shall need assistance distributing the weapons forged with this exquisite iron to the cities. Let us call it the city's more colourful dimension. I find you uniquely qualified for this endeavour, owing to your diverse, eclectic, and puissant contracts throughout Baldur's Gate. Add me to those contacts, Frank. It'll work out for you. Mutual benefit and all that. I'll be in touch. Think on it. Yours faithfully, and VGTH. Interesting. Send those to camp. None of them are particularly important. There's a pouch over here. Nothing in it. A Guide to Avernus. One hellish holiday. This book provides an overview of Avernus, the first layers of the 9 hells of the discerning interplanar traveller. The section on geography and inhabitants repeat much of the known lore about the Blood Wars battlefields and combatants. The section detailing the politics of the plains is strung with asterisks, qualifiers, and addendums, charting the ever-shifting chain of command beneath Archduke Zariel, as her many commanders rise meteorically in and fall equally from her favour. The Hells Unleashed. 9 steps to his infernal throne. This chapter lists each of the Hell's 9 layers, their rulers, and the character of the associated ritual item required to describe at a glimpse of it. Avernus, Archduchess Zariel. Heliotrope, encased shard of bone. Dis, Archduke Dispater. Ore of infernal iron. Minarus, Archduke Maimon. Single gold coin petrified in acrid peat. Felagos. Archduchess Fiena and her father, Archduke Belial. Everburn ash, perfectly balanced on the scale of stone. Stygia, Archduke Levistus, a single coal black eye frozen in a shard of its own tears. Malbolg, Archduchess Glacia, a coronet stained with blood and 3 rightful rulers. Maldomini, Archduke Beelzebub, Gorian fly fed fat with a petitioner's blood? Petitioner's? I think petitioner's blood is what that's supposed to be. Cania, Archduke Mephistopheles, a singular and precious text, burnt. Nessus, Lord Asmodeus. All known substances result in immediate disappearance of Patriotiano. Petitioner? Petitioner. Is that what the other word was as well, and I'm just dumb? I think it's supposed to be petitioner's blood. And this is petitioner, okay. Archduke Leadership Surveillance. An Archduke's Leadership Surveillance. A pamphlet in the Gorta. Yep, we already read that. Perfect. So, Secret Society of the Sword Coast, I've already read. The Watch and the Steel Watch. Famously, or perhaps notoriously, the mercenary force known as the Flaming Fist handles Baldur's Gate's law enforcement duties in the lower city and the outer city, including Worm's Crossing. But what about the exclusive upper city, home to the wealthy and powerful? There, order is kept by a highly disciplined force simply called the Watch. Though derided by the Fists as mere toy soldier bodyguards to the city's patriarchs, spit and polish phonies who won't get their hand dirty fighting real crime, the truth is quite different, or you'll find in short order if you break the law of the upper city. The Watch are well trained and authorized to use lethal force if patriarchs are threatened. Which brings us to the Steel Watch, those new clanking automatons that share their name with the guardians of the upper city, but to date have only been deployed in support of the Flaming Fist. Their creator, Lord GTH, has stated that his watches are intended to help protect all of Baldur's Gate, but it seems the Marshal of the Watch Citadel is skeptical and waiting for proof before admitting them in a role in the upper city. Interesting. That both makes sense and is somewhat telling that the leader of the Watch is, I don't know about this. Therefore, we're not going to open it to the upper city. We're only going to do it in the lower city. The wooden chest here. There is some stuff down here, but not a lot that I care about. The ledger is interesting.
Nothing.
The ledger records acquisitions and sales in GTH's infernal weapon trade. Infernal iron acquired from diabolical sources, used thereof in forging enhanced arms and armor. The sales of and distribution through GTH networks and other wholesalers such as the Zentarum and the Knights of the Shield. The final entry is as follows. Note for Lord GTH. The Knights' organization appears to be collapsing, and sales to them are in steep decline. However, this is more than made up for by shipments of our new contacts in ARM, And the Athkatla. Receipts next month should make everyone happy, Petri. Interesting. And my gratitude. Dear Frank, writing to extend my sincerest gratitude. Weapon distribution continues like a parent saving their drowning child swimmingly. The success of this endeavor lies entirely at their feet. You are a treasure, and I should like to hold you in my arms and whisk you about. How you would laugh, Frank. Of course people would say we're in love. And I do love you, Frank. I love any man willing to birth a little more slithering wet malice into the world. But sending out my weapons, putting them in groping, willing fingers, you've done just that. Yours in faith, and Vigortash. Interesting. So they've been making weapons with... I mean, let me just check this. If I grab this battle axe... This is a regular battle axe? Yes. That interests me because they're talking about making all their weapons out of infernal iron, which you would imply to me that they're actually more advanced in some way, but they don't seem to be. Well, we found the last paint. He was killed by Oren, and he seemed to be working for Gortash, so that might be some kind of Civil War stuff going on there, but for the most part, it's not entirely interesting to me. I do want to go sell some stuff eventually, but I'd actually updated my Dribbles the Clown thing. We found Dribbles' arm and his head. A part of Dribbles has been used to create a gruesome art piece. We continue searching for his body parts. We found his torso. Interesting. How many parts to Dribbles are there? I guess both arms, both legs, torso, and head would make sense. Who are you?
Shouldn't go wandering in dark alleys. Very dangerous hobby. Gets people killed.
On the half-orc's finger, you notice an unusual ring. Heavy and with a strange symbol carved on its surface.
Scurry away, good book, before I crush you.
Let's look closer at the ring.
You recall seeing this symbol on crates marked for Nine Fingers Keen, leader of the guild. The thug works for her.
Oi, stop staring. Start walking. Last chance.
I'm here to say Nine Fingers. Get in my way. Get in my way and you'll use more than a ring on your finger.
No need for violence, friend. Just doing my job. People think they can sneak past me. Fists, adventurers, journalists. Gotta be on me guard.
You have a ridiculous haircut, by the way.
I'll take you to the guild hall. Nine Fingers is inside.
Sure.
In you go. Before I change my mind.
Sure.
Well, well. The fabled haunt of Nine Fingers Keen.
Never visited before. I thought you got around.
Ah, you survived. Which means my employers are dead, I take it. No matter. Gives us a chance to talk. Nine Fingers is done. My Zentarim stand ready to purge this place of everyone loyal to her. So all I need to know is, does that include you? Or not?
Why are you working for the cult? They want to enslave everyone.
You fail to see the bigger picture. Yes, they offered us money, but more than that, they offered an opportunity. The money is a bonus. The Zentarim have been trying to crack Baldur's Gate for years, but Nine Fingers' grip has been too strong. And look what it's come to. Her guild is disorganized, undisciplined. The cult broke them in a matter of days, while my Zentarim still stands strong. A guild under our control can do what Nine Fingers failed to. Drive the Absolute out of the city once and for all. We're all on the same side. If there are spoils to be split afterwards, well, I'm sure there's enough to share.
Enough talking. Get in my way or die.
A hero. There's a time for heroics, my friend, and a time for common sense. This was the latter. To arms, Zentarim! The guild is ours! Once we clear out the vermin.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't actually care all that much about this P. This is gonna be a big fight. Look who it is! It's a Starium. First things first, let's get happy. Brilliant. Really? You say so. Paralyzed, bitch. I mean, it is going to be simple. I don't really... I'm not particularly worried, if I'm being perfectly honest. You're paralyzed. Do I care? Let's use my angel first, shall we? How about we just fly into here? Lol. Okay, back to me.
No choice but to keep going.
Alright, we got 1, 2, a bunch down there, and a couple up here. Fly over here. Repulsor is the thing I can do, but I think I want to do Black Hole instead, right? Doesn't hit anyone else, just them. Sure. And then we want to drink a potion of haste if we have one. We actually might not have one. That's odd, I could have sworn we had a potion of haste. Well... No, don't go next to them, I want to AoE them. Stupid melee fighters. You left. I like it. Not a stupid melee fighter, that's always impressive. I mean, there's always a tempt, like, it's always tempting to go with Zentarim, you know what I mean? A monk, really? Damn. Another reason I went with Nine Fingers, by the way, is I just read like a bunch of books saying how much Nine Fingers hated Gortash. And Gortash is my next goal, so you know. Hello, how are you? Prepare to die. Really? It's not enough movement? Can I use the ladder? I can use the ladder. Perfect. I'm lowering my chances of being able to, Woo! Nelly. I am powerful. Alright, let's get you in here as well if we can. You do not have a lot of movement, do you? Let's fly down here. Very tempting, but I need to be down on the ground for that to work. So... the issue of having spells that hit everyone rather than just the people I want them to hit. I mean, I guess I just do single target damage where I can. Sure. Nice. That'll do. Good work. Kind of action dash. Cool.
Still on my feet.
I'm gonna try shoving him. Damn. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to actually knock him off. That was my Discord, by the way. Apologies. Sure. He doesn't really have a ranged option, is the downside. Where are the last two? That one? Is it literally just those two left? Why it makes this go? You had to dash to make that distance. Nice. Hell of a critical.
Not enough gawking all. Back to work. There's a mess needs.
Moving ahead.
Purple worm gullet. It's a weird thing to be carrying around, my guy, but whatever.
Anything of use?
Keep an eye on Rugen. Carson, Rugen is no longer reliable. I'm making you the Southern District Deliveries Manager. Effective next 10 day, unless Rugen retrieves earlier than that. If you know what I mean. Retires, rather. Let's send that one to camp. Add those to Wes. Essentially... I'll loot these people a bit later. I was going to loot them all and then talk to people, but I think instead...
You need to get up early indeed to get one over on Nine Fingers. If she were easily toppled, Uktar would have done it already.
Probably true. Let's go talk to Nine Fingers, shall we?
Let's see.
Hello, Miss Nine Fingers.
Suppose I should have seen that coming. Zentarim aren't known for their loyalty, but I thought the bastards would keep to their contract at least. I'm too nice for my own good, I suppose. But I was in a pit, and you helped pull me out. For that, I'm grateful. You'll have what guild blades I can give when the time to take the Absolute comes. So, just tell me what you need to get us there.
Interesting. I ran into some of your thugs, the Rivington Rats.
Oh, did you enjoy the encounter?
I had to kill the leader.
Zenobia. Always told the girl that mouth would cost her head. I could wish she'd shown some restraint, but I doubt she'd have returned it. The rats usually keep a lid on their nastier notions, but with the Stone Lord business distracting me, some are starting to test the leash. All the more reason to be rid of the cult quickly, so I can remind my crews it's not a leash round their necks if they cross me. It's a noose.
I need information.
Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your tab.
How's it you know so much about the Cult of the Absolute and its leaders?
Simple enough. After Jaheira warned me and then disappeared, I went nosing into the cult for myself. I could bore you with the details. How I found evidence of Gortash's projects, traced him to Orin the Red, and made a safe bet there was some dried-out old necromancer to round out the three. Because it's always the dead, bloody three. Has been half-gods who can't help but make their irrelevance everyone else's problem.
Relatively accurate, to be fair. There's more to it than just the dead three.
Oh. You've got some juicy little tidbit I haven't heard yet.
Sure, I'll tell her everything.
Huh. It seems like my intelligence on you was patchy at best. That's annoying.
So what do you plan to do now that you know?
I had no intention of leaving my city in the Dead Three's hands. Definitely not leaving it to some slimy shit that doesn't even have hands. So, as long as you can keep a lid on what's growing inside you, we're allies. Until you can't, and we're not. Simple enough, I reckon. Now, war to be fought. You need anything?
Why do I need the guild? I've been doing well enough without you so far.
You have. But don't be so quick to bat away a helping hand. You find few enough of them in this city.
True.
The Flaming Fist can be bought. The Harpers are scattered, and the Parliament of Peers, well, they're just generally too inbred to be useful. The Absolute's at our gate, and the Guild are the only ones truly standing against it.
Seems true enough. This feels very much like it would be a Jaheira thing if she was with me. Connections and all that, as it were. But I'm gonna assume there's someone in here I can sell shit to. Alright everyone, we're back. So, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. And then next episode, I wasn't even planning to come here really, I just kind of found it off a whim. You dealt with the Rollers Terminators, you can now retrieve the stolen gold. Whoops. I'm back, sorry. Let me go down and loot Roa, shall we? Just in case she has all her gold on her, because if so,
something good here, I hope.
She'd be pretty stupid to walk around carrying all that gold, but at the same time, she was. And she also has a bunch of shit on her, so let's take it all. 10,000 gold. Why not just keep the 10,000 gold, is my question. It could be worth, you know, it definitely could be worth giving it back to them. But it's 10,000 gold. So she had a glaive, draconic elemental weapon. Now I am somewhat interested in taking that money back to them and just giving him 10 grand. Because if they give me something that's worth 10 grand, you know? Like, it could theoretically be worth 10 grand. As I said, I think I'm going to leave it there. We'll come up here as we finish. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, where I will keep trying to find where I need to go for Shadowheart.